What's up Nerfers, and welcome back to my channel, where I test blasters like this one outdoors in real world conditions to bring you the results that I want to know. Today I'm taking a look at some brand new types of Nerf Rifling from QLDY Studios in China, a name which roughly translates to raining guns and bullets. Called the iiBCARs, these were sent to me special thanks to Spider in Singapore and Break Ice in Taiwan. I'll put links down below where you can find them. The iiBCARs are unlike any other Nerf Rifling I've seen so far. They're designed to go inside of this cylindrical piece, and there's a piece that's designed to go in front of it called the air spoiler. What this is meant to do is help redirect any air that escapes around the bearings back inside the barrel to help assist with accuracy and range. The inside is also smooth, which is meant to help straighten the darts as they leave the barrel. Are these design features the future of Nerf Rifling? Well, that's what I hope to answer today. The pieces fit together by first inserting the air spoiler and then screwing in the BCAR. There's also a threaded end cap and included key to tighten it with, though I was told to go very gentle on it since the parts are 3D printed and could break under pressure. The material these are printed in is called PLACF, and if you're someone who plays in a public area, I'm sure being 3D printed you could easily customize the color scheme to suit your needs, so you could probably get a bright orange one of these, not black like I have. There's also a few different lengths of these designed for different blaster power levels. First, there's the short 12 bearing assault version, which is designed for between 220 and 270 feet per second. Then there's a slightly longer 15 bearing Sniper 1 version, designed for blasters that shoot between 270 and 300. And finally, there's the long boy 18 bearing Sniper 2, which is designed for 300 FPS and above. The iiBCAR is attached to a 16mm outer diameter barrel using a threaded locking nut, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way. This style of connection is fast becoming the norm and allows them to suit a wide tolerance of barrels, both anodized or raw metal. And while they are designed to be used with the air spoiler, you can also use the BCAR just by itself if you wanted to. And for that purpose, I was also sent some decorative outer shrouds to suit the same threads. Again, you could print these in pretty much any color you like. For my testing today, I'm going to try all three of these on the Saber Apex Prime Blaster, firing around 300 feet per second. Additionally, I'll try the iiBCAR without the air spoiler, just to see what difference it makes. And for a baseline to compare them all to, I'll also throw in the Saber CNC Metal BCAR. The darts I'll be using are Worker Bamboos provided by Foamwork Adelaide here in Australia. Let's begin with a chrono test. Okay, first up I have the iiBCAR BCAR. So it has 12 bearings in 3 rows. Let's see how it does. 291, 303, 300, 301, 282, 291, 291, 308, 297, 299, 306, 299, 293, 315. 301, and that's all 15 with the iiBCAR. All right, so now I'm putting on the iiBCAR, and I'll start with the outer shroud attached, and then I'll take it off to see what difference it makes. Here goes, iiBCAR, 298, 295, 307, 291, 302, 293, 290, 313, 304, 304, 291, 301, 295, 300, 294. That's all 15 with a shroud on. Now take it off and see what difference it makes. Because it's meant to redirect the air back in and help you not lose as much FPS. So, see whether that's actually a thing or not. Okay, same again, no shroud. 297, 297, 294, 292, 303, 304, 304, 302, 291, 292, 296, 289, 289, 311, 297, and that's all 15. I'll check this out at the end to see whether that average improved or decreased with the shroud off. Now, I don't know if I caught that happening on camera, but I seem to have over-tightened the iiBCAR and the end thread portion has snapped off. So I think when I said earlier not to over-tighten it, that must be why. Then I remembered every single outer shroud is actually the same exact dimensions. So I can just use a different one and put the iiBCAR in that. Making sure, of course, not to over tighten it this time. Okay, here's the iiBCAR. 301, 301, 303, 301, 300, 295, 299, 305, 288, 304, 301, 292, 297, 292, 308, and that's all 15. Now the iiBCAR, if you're not aware, has 30 bearings, so almost double the largest of the ii's. I suspect it'll probably have slightly lower velocity because of that, but what that'll do to accuracy, we'll have to wait for the accuracy test. Here goes the iiBCAR. 296, 296, 305, 304, 296, 304, 291, 310, 308, 294, 308, 294, 296, 307, 306, and that's all 15 with a iiBCAR.
Okay, so the II-12, II-15 and II-18 all shot pretty much identical velocities over the chronograph, hitting 298 to 299 FPS on average. No real difference at all. Comparing the II-15 with and without its shroud, there was also no real difference there either. So I guess that debunks the idea that the air spoiler is somehow increasing velocity. Finally, the Sabre CNC metal BCAR with its 30 bearings actually had the highest velocity of the lot, with an average of 301 feet per second. I suspect that's because Sabre's bearings seem to be a little looser fitting on the darts than most other BCARs. It is also only a 4 FPS increase over the II's though, so I have to say, at least in velocity, all of these are pretty much equal. So now for the part that I want to see, how do these all compare for accuracy?
Alright, for the accuracy test I'm going to be shooting at this target, which is 1 meter across. I think that's about 3.5 feet for my American viewers. Back here, at a distance of 30 meters away or 100 feet, I'm going to be shooting Sabre Apex Prime over a sandbag so that it's nice and stable. And I've got the II-12 on first, which is designed for kind of lower FPS blasters than this. So I expect it's probably not going to be the best, but we'll see how it does. That wasn't too bad. Neither was that. Now, a fun fact, throughout the video I've been calling these the double iiBCAR. Now, I don't speak Chinese, but apparently if I was to pronounce it the iiBCAR, that could be misinterpreted as the phrase making love, which is why I haven't been calling it II. If you know the language, perhaps comment down below if that's correct or not. This one seems pretty good so far. There was a shot that went a bit to the right before, but the rest of them have been pretty much in the center. Makes me wonder what the one actually designed for 300 FPS will be able to do. That's all 15. Time to swap it for the iiBCAR. First with the shroud on. Now this is the one actually designed for 300 FPS. So I expect it to be the best of the three. Only one way to find out. Pulled a little bit to the right there. That could be because of the spin though. That one went high. There we go. That's better. Don't know why that one went up high and hit the white cardboard. I guess that will be another thing to compare as well, just how high up on the target each one goes. Because if that airflow, like that redirection of the air thing, does help, we'll be able to see that in the results. So the higher up a dart goes on the target means that it will also go further in maximum range, which is the claim. Still got a couple left. All right, now we'll take the shroud off and the air disruptor away and see what the actual difference is with and without it. So far, that seems better without the air disruptor. This is definitely going to be a job for me when I get home to the computer though. I will not be able to tell you, just by looking, which one's better than the other. That one went a bit higher. Still got a couple left. Now the sun's coming out and changed the lighting. Hope you guys can still see the hits. Last one, I think. Hard to tell with the black mags. Yep, there we go. All right, now I'll try the iiBCAR in its new shroud because the first one broke. And this has the most number of bearings out of all of the ii's, so we'll see what that does at 300 FPS. Seems to be going higher up on the target. Ooh, that was an interesting shot that dropped a bit low. It came out of the barrel looking like any of the others, and then it kind of pivoted down. So this could be too much spin for 300 FPS. And the claim is that this one's designed for more than 300 FPS. So that doesn't make sense. I would have thought the lower amount of bearings would be better for higher FPS because they'll spin more. Generally, at least with the angle of a iiBCAR, you want a lower angle for higher FPS. Anyway, that is the iiBCAR done. Now, I did mention this to Sabre because they still use a grub screw design on the Sabre iiBCAR and haven't updated it. And I think perhaps sometime in the future, they will switch to a locking nut similar to everyone else. Let's see how the Sabre compares. Oh, that's nice and high on the target. It has more bearings though, so it should also slow it down. Although I think the trick Sabre have done is they've made their bearings looser than everyone else's. Which is why in the Chrono Test, the Sabre iiBCAR, I believe, had the highest average. And you can see that on the target here, where the shots are going higher than some of the others. Just like that. It hit the skull at the top. Look, if I had to guess before I get home on the computer, I'd say the Sabre. But maybe we'll be surprised.
At a distance of 30 meters, shown in red, the iiBCAR shot a spread 40 centimeters in size, which is not bad at all. In purple, the iiBCAR shot a slightly larger 55 centimeter spread. And in yellow, the iiBCAR without its shroud, just the iiBCAR, shot a smaller 45 centimeter spread. In blue, the iiBCAR shot a 90 centimeter spread, the worst of the lot. I'd say it had too much spin for 300 FPS. Finally, in orange, the Sabre iiBCAR shot a really nice 40 centimeter spread as well. Comparing the iiBCAR with and without its shroud, it actually performed better without it. A little odd considering this is the one designed for 300 FPS. For the winners of the accuracy test, it was incredibly close between the Sabre iiBCAR and the iiBCAR. The Sabre iiBCAR shot higher up on the target and was a little more centered, but if you overlay both on top of each other, as though you were zeroing the sight, well, I think it looks like a tie. So I put this one out to a vote for my viewers, and you guys called it a tie as well, which I think is a very impressive result for a 3D printed iiBCAR that uses half the number of bearings the Sabre one does. The iiBCAR, which was meant to work best at 300 FPS, actually performed worse than the iiBCAR, and the iiBCAR had too much spin and came in last place. While the CNC metal Sabre iiBCAR is far more durable, the iiBCAR iiBCAR is considerably cheaper. So I think it could be a compelling alternative for some people given the results that I had here. The iiBCAR being the shortest of the iiBCARs also means that it had the longest air spoiler and longest dart straightener of all of the ii's. So perhaps those features had something to do with its success. For you Nerf designers out there, perhaps it's worth exploring these further. I haven't seen any other iiBCARs use features like these so far, but they seem to have performed really well. And if you'd like to get one of these to try for yourself, I'll put the links to them down below. Thanks again, Spider and Break Ice, for sending these to me to try. That's all I have for you today. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. Here's 2 other videos you might enjoy. And as always, thank you very much for watching. See ya.